Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Learn Smart Coding. In this video, we are going to talk about destructuring in JavaScript. Come, let's take a look at the live example. Back to my demo app. Here we are going to talk about the destructuring examples. So I have a method called getData and I'm calling that method and printing the value whatever it is returning. Let's take a variable called x and define 15 and another variable called y and let's say it's 25. Now what we are going to do is we are going to assign x to y and y to x. So in the left hand side I will have x and y and I'm saying a destructuring a value. Here I'm putting a destructuring syntax. So what I'm saying is take the value y from the right side and put it into x. Similarly, take the value of the x and put it into y. That is what line number 10 denotes. This looks like an array, but it is not an array. The right side is the array. The left side, I am just assigning the values from the right side to the left side. Now let's have another function called getArray. So this getArray is going to return an array data. That is the only thing that it will return. So let's format this code. So getArray method is returning two values as an array, which is 3 and 5. So back to our getData method. Here what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign x and y and get the value from that getArray method. So I'm calling it, so which means it is literally same what we did earlier. The 3 and 5 will be assigned to x and y. So if I return x and y, you should see 3 and 5 in the demo. Correct, you got the data. Now what if the getArray data is returning more than two values, which means it is returning like 6, 3, 5. I don't want 6 and 3 to be assigned to x and y. I really want 3 and 5 to be assigned. So in this case, what you can do is you can skip that first value which is returned from the getArray. By putting just a comma to the assignment side, it will skip the first one. So it will pick up the second one to the second portion and third one to the third portion. In our case, 3 and 5 is what we want and we got the data. And what if we are trying to assign more than 3 properties where the return is only 3. So in this case, z is the one which is the extra property or a variable that I'm assigning on line number 12, but the getArray method is returning only 3 values, right? We are skipping the first value, we are putting second and third to the x and y. And what happens to z? Whenever you don't pass anything in JavaScript, the default is called undefined. Z is actually undefined. It is not printed here. Let's put a console.log and print the z value and see what the z value is. So if you see, z is undefined. You can see in the console. Just for the understanding, let me put some nice message here. The value of z is, see, I saved it. It is clearly saying the value of z is undefined. Great. So that's what it happens. Now you saw how destructuring works with this array. Now the next destructuring that we will take a look at is the object type. So far what we saw was we took the array data and we know how to assign that to our local variables. What if we have a message? What if we have a method called getObjectData and it is returning an object? In this case, you can see first name, YouTube channel, and technology trained. Those are the 3 properties that an object has. So in this case, I'm going to define a method called getData. So here what I'm doing is on line number 27, I'm assigning the first name and the YouTube channel name to my variables, and these values are going to be retrieved from this method, the getObjectData method. So it will return this data, and what it will basically do is it will take the property name to property name. So it will match the property name to property name. So we got this object because we are also printing it in object. So let's put it into array. So here what we are saying is take the first name and put it into first name. Take the YouTube channel property and put it into YouTube channel property. We formatted the code. You see the data got displayed. So basically you should remember the left hand side is the navigation to the object property and the right hand side is nothing but the local variable. In our case, the navigation and the local name are same. If I change my local name from first name to first, it is going to throw me an error called there is no such first name exists. If you look at the line number 31, the first name property is the local name which doesn't exist. So I will change this to first. Now it will start displaying it. So you should remember, right hand side is your local variable, left hand side is your navigation to the properties in an object. Now this is looking good. Now let's refactor the line number 22 and let's say the technology trained property itself, it's an object. So object of object. So inside this object, let's have two property called front end skill, and let me give you some value. All right, and then we have another property called back end skill. Let me put some value to this property as well. In order for me to display a particular property inside this object, let's say I wanted to take front end skill and display it to my variable. So here, how you need to write is, you need to go through the navigation. The first level is the technology trained property. Within that, you should open up the curly bracket and provide the property name that you're looking for. Here in this case, it's front end skill. So we will also have a front end skill local variable, and that is what is displayed there. If I change this front end skill to the back end skill property, the data which is inside the back end skill property is going to get displayed. See, you saw two different datas. Looks good. Now let's simplify this. If I remove all my right hand side variables, here in this case I'm trying to remove all the variables. So now what will happen is, we are telling JavaScript that, hey, take this first name property of the object that is returned and assign a new variable called first name. Similarly, all the other properties also the same. It is going to pick up those values and put it into the similar local variable, and you can directly access that variable and return the data. That's why we don't have anything on the right side. So this is the simplest way you can use for your destructuring. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, don't forget to subscribe my channel, like it, share it, comment it, and never forget to click on the bell icon.